Hey guys, today I want to talk about 3 books that has really impacted and changed my life. There's a lot of books, right? But there's 3 that I want to focus on today. Number 1 is a famous book called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Robert's written dozens of books, and this was the first one that put him on the map. And really, he grew up with 2 dads, right? One was an administrator at a school, and that was his poor dad, right? Working for the government. Even though he got paid well, the government ended up, he lost his job and ended up with nothing. Then he has his rich dad, which was like his best friend, who was a business owner. And so he got like 2 different life philosophies and work philosophies from both dads, and he was able to learn a lot. Guy's probably close to a billionaire at this time. Such great insight on business development. One of the key takeaways is that rich people, they buy assets, right? They buy an asset is something that puts money in your pocket. At the end of the day, it's putting money in your pocket, whereas a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. So there's this controversial topic where he calls your personal house that you live in more of a liability because you're paying for the water, sewer, trash, you're paying for the PG&E, right? You're paying your mortgage payment. So technically the house that you live in, although it's appreciating, it's still constantly taking money out of your pocket. Whereas like a rental property, when it's rented, that's putting money in your pocket. Another liability would be like your car, right? Car is constantly costing money to keep the car, whereas having what would be another asset, like a business, right? You have a business and it's operating and it's constantly, if you're running a business properly, right, and it's profiting, it should be putting money in your pocket. And so the rich people buy assets as much as they possibly can, whereas the poor people are going and buying liabilities, season tickets to the Warriors, or they're buying cars, they're buying a boat, right? Constantly costing money, whereas the rich are buying things that put money in their pocket to the point where they have so much cash flow coming in every month that then they can go and splurge on all these other expenses. So that's one of the huge takeaways. Highly recommend that book. Another book that I've mentioned several times is The 10X by Grant Cardone. One of the great takeaways in that book is that he really dives deep into, sometimes we think we know how much effort it's going to take to break through, to achieve that success, but he's realized through his own success that it typically takes about 10 times as much energy and inertia, sometimes even time, of consistently working at this one goal before you find that success. And he talks about the difference between being average, which is actually quite dangerous because you don't have control of your life, versus being exceptional. With the 10X book, he talks about putting 10 times as much effort into achieving a goal, but sometimes it's actually pushing that goal out further. Sometimes people, they set very small goals, but really want to set a bigger goal and really focus on all your time and energy onto achieving that goal. And it's just a really inspirational book. Highly recommend it. Lastly, want to highly recommend, this one's not really a book, but it's more of like a training. You can see it on YouTube. It's by Kevin Trudeau, Your Wish is Your Command. Very fascinating book. I know Kevin Trudeau is a controversial person. I have my own philosophies about him and why he got locked up. Exposing some of the secrets of the rich and famous and wealthy people, the people that run the world, right? They don't want some of these secrets out that have gotten them to where they're at. Kevin Trudeau is sharing that with the world, and some of these people that are in power, they don't want the peasants, if you will, to understand how they got to that level, right? Because they don't want to lose their power. They have the mindset of lack. But anyways, he talks about your wish is your command and how we truly are creators of our life and our universe, and how we can actually manifest our own desires, and focusing on that chief aim. They talk a lot about it in another book called Think and Grow Rich, right? Which talks about this, but Kevin Trudeau goes really, really deep in detail about how to think and grow rich. And a lot of it has to do with actually how you feel. Because I've talked about this before, but our brains send out frequencies and they also receive frequencies. And that's how we're able to attract. That's how the law of success works. And so, but when you feel good and when you're really healthy, your frequencies are a lot more powerful. And so when we're feeling a certain way, I think so many times we don't pay attention to what our body is telling us because we're too busy being distracted with all the different aspects of life. And so anyways, highly recommend that. Your Wish is Your Command. I think there's like 14 parts on YouTube. Highly recommend it. If you like today's video, hit the subscribe button. And if you're interested in any of the books, you can use the link below to get yourself a copy.